Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents a special presentation of Marvel Champions. Tonight we have Captain America taking on the Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew scenario is not particularly well liked by people because people think it's too easy, even if you play on the the expert level. But with a number of X modules now and stuff, the Wrecking Crew actually becomes. I always like the Wrecking Crew. I mean, 1 versus 4 is always pretty good. There you are, ID Jester. So the only problem with Wrecking Crew on my desk, I really don't have the room. So I'm going to try my best to fit everything here. So I'm going to try my best to fit everything. So you got to so the thing is, I'm not going to be able to show a lot of discard piles. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. I'll see if I can put them all up here with these here. So you may not be able to see them pretty well because I got to have them. So I'm going to have to have them up there. So anyway, we're going to use Captain America. He's going to get the call. He's going to get the call today. The Wrecking Crew the Wrecking Crew scenario does not use the Nemesis or the Obligation for the hero. So, and there you go, Philip Reynolds. Yes, how about them Bengals? They did they did the Dolphins a favor. I would like to ask people who leads the AFC right now, and that would be the that logo right there. So let's see how well I can get everything on the table. Might not be very easy to do, but we'll see what I can do here. I'm going to have to at least try to make some space. When you're playing 1 versus 4, it's not easy to do, especially with this here. Captain America happens to be my favorite hero of the entire Marvel universe, and I guess he's my favorite hero for Marvel Champions. I guess you could say. I always like Captain America. Captain America is America's greatest soldier. He is a true man of honor, and he will protect all that he thinks can be do. No, it is not the Ravens, Mr. Reynolds, because if you follow the NFL, the Miami Dolphins have the better conference record than the Ravens do. The Ravens are 6-3. The Dolphins are 6-2. So at the moment, my Miami Dolphins are the #1 seed. Thank you very much. All right, this is the Wrecking Crew. They have Wrecker. We're just going to play standard Wrecker, standard Wrecking Crew with Wrecker, Thunderball, Bulldozer, and Pile Driver. About Spider-Man and the Hulk. I love the Hulk. Don't get me wrong, I love the Hulk. I truly do. I love the Hulk. So, question is, can I get everything in here if I play it this way? We'll try. All right. Each what is it? Each breakout, and breakout is the main scheme here. Breakout. So let's see here. So we shuffle up Wrecker's cards. See this. I love Spider-Man. I love the Hulk. This is the last of the core of. This is the last of the. This is what you call the last of the. What do you call it? Of the scenarios before they started introducing the campaign waves, which is the Rise of Red Skull, which is next. I may not go into the Rise of Red Skull after I play Wrecking Crew. I may go back into the core set and start with Rhino, but play the later more of the Wave 1 heroes, which is Ms. Marvel, Doctor Strange, Black Widow, Hulk, and Thor, and start with Rhino again. I haven't decided who I'll pit up against Rhino. I want to get through the heroes and keep the heroes with their waves. It just kind of seems to be more thematic that way, I think. Let's Spider-Man is the best character MC. I like how he plays. Not the strongest. He should be an A+. Spider-Man to me is the most balanced card and is the most balanced hero, I think, in the game. But I'll tell you though, I have tested the X-Men, and some of the X-Men are pretty tough. But the next expansions for Marvel will be Age of Apocalypse, and so that's coming out. And then after they finish the X-Men trilogy, I don't know what they've got planned for that yet. Obviously, they're missing a lot of heroes. They're missing Daredevil. They don't have Daredevil. They don't have Jessica Jones. They don't have. So we may see some street heroes coming up after they get done with the X-Men. If I played Colossus yet, yes, he is fun. He is fun. He is fun. All right, do I have enough room? So I got to put. All right, so I got more room on the camera here, so I'll move that and put his deck. Separate it there. I'll put Thunderball, his scheme here. Put Bulldozer, his scheme here. And Pile Driver, and the Fantastic Four is also. They're gonna get to him. They're gonna get to him. Marvel Champions right now is Marvel Champions and Arkham Horror are Fantasy Flight's most successful card games. All right, then we have Breakout. Breakout, I'll put over here because so we'll see what we do here. All right, so Breakout. Wrecker Ray, put the Day of Reckoning, Thunderstruck, Pilot on, clear the road side schemes into play. Place the active counter on Wrecker, which will put him here, so we know who's active, and advance to stage 1B. After step 1 of the villain phase, you place 1 threat on each side scheme. Move the active counter to the villain whose scheme has the most threat. If there's a tie, the first player chooses. If the stage is completed, players lose the game. All right, so now, of course, they start with threat. So Day of Reckoning starts with 6. Thunderstruck starts with 5. Clear the Road starts with 4. And Pilot On starts with 3. And nothing on Breakout. All right, so set your deck and discard pile for Captain America's Shield. This is the starter deck for Captain America. This is not. I am using starter decks. I am not using my own. I think starter decks actually are specifically designed for good play. You can lose with a starter deck, obviously. So I like the Captain America starter deck. He uses leadership, which unfortunately really is my least favorite aspect, is leadership. But he actually works with Captain America because he has 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. So usually my rule of thumb is whatever the lowest one of these of this is probably the aspect you may want to use. But since he's good in all of them, leadership actually makes sense. And of course, Captain America is the leader of the Avengers. So it does make sense. All right, so you can add it to your hand. So we automatically get it, and we get 5 cards. I may have to have, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but let's see what we do here. Okay. Good to see you, Jeremy Brooks. Yeah, Kingpin isn't villain yet. He will. He will. If they do release a street format, which will have Daredevil and Jessica Jones, I'm pretty sure Kingpin will be there. All right, so Captain America Shield, Power of Leadership, Energy, Hawkeye, Heroic Strike, Shield Toss. These are actually pretty good. But I'll keep Hawkeye. I will keep the Power of Leadership, bring him out. Energy is always good. We keep the Shield. The Heroic Strike, maybe a little too early for that. I'll discard. I'll keep the Toss. And we'll get another Power of Leadership. All right. All right, so let's play a little Wrecking Crew here. As I said, I'm just going to play. You guys can just join in and chat with me and say hello. That's all. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea. All right, so Steve Rogers will flip, And Steve Rogers, let's see. Oh, what I didn't do here. Wrecker has, what I didn't do here. Wrecker has 14. Thunderball has 13. Has 13. Bulldozer has 12. And Pile Driver has 11. I have 2 copies of the core set, so, and Captain America has 11. So we'll see what we can do here. All right. I have 2 copies of the core set, which allows me to have some of these extra stuff. I always figure that if you actually want to get into Marvel Champions, you're going to want 2 copies of the core set at least. Get 2 copies of the core set. That allows you to get enough cards pretty much for 4-player, on the core set or anything like that. Take your 6 cards plus the shield. I already did. It is 6 cards, okay, but it's and it says search your deck and discard pile for the Captain America Shield upgrade and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. I don't think that starts with. I think it includes it. Doesn't remember if it actually didn't, but I have the 6. So good to see you, Doug Hunt. All right, so we will play. Well, it's our turn. We're going to go ahead. We're going to play the Power of Leadership and the Shield Toss to put out Hawkeye. Hawkeye's actually useful for that. So Hawkeye enters with 4 arrow counters. In this scenario, the obligation and the nemesis cards and the standard cards are not used. You do not use these in this scenario. You could probably add them. I'm pretty sure if you want to make the game a little bit more interesting, but it's not designed to be used with them, but you can add them, sure. All right. So Hawkeye enters with 4 arrow cards on them. Arrow cards. Let's see here. We're going to, I want to do this. I got Wrecker, who's going to be a pain in the ass most of the time here. Let's see. We're going to attack for 2. We're going to hit Pile Driver. Bring him down to 9. We'll play the Power of Leadership. Ready him, and he will thwart for 2 and bring Wrecker down from 6 to 4, which means that Thunderball will be the next one up, I believe, because he doesn't attack that much. All right. Of course, we put out energy to put out the shield. Hawkeye will attack for 1 on Pile Driver, bring him down to 8. You're probably right, Jester. I don't know. I mean, I don't play Captain America much, but it says, like I said, search your deck and discard pile for Captain America Shield upgrade and add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. So maybe I did score myself. But if I did, that's fine. So if I did, tell you what, I'll keep the Shield Toss. And we'll leave it that. So maybe I did. So that's going to do it for that. Put on Hawkeye. And we will... end the turn. So Captain America runs, Hawkeye there. And we draw 1. And we draw, what do I do here? It goes there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mockingbird, Honorary Avenger, Strength in Numbers, and Shield Toss. Mockingbird is always excellent. All right. So one threat goes on breakout, and everybody else gets a threat. Everyone else gets a threat on the side schemes. Okay, after step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 threat and move the active counter to the villain whose scheme has the most threat. And right now, that is Thunderball, and that's why I decided to do that. So Thunderball is actually the active guy. He will attack. And Captain will defend. So he attacks for 1. Attacks for 1. Plus 2 is 3. And he doesn't do anything because his attack is a 2. Plus 1 is a 3. I'm going to put the cards that were used underneath to save space. And that's a retaliate, so he takes damage. And we'll see. He gets an encounter card, and it is held hostage. Attack to the active villain side scheme. Threat cannot be removed from attached scheme by thwarting. The villain corresponding to the attack side scheme attacks you, then discard this card. That is a hero action, though. So this will go here, and I can put it on top, I guess, because I can't thwart that scheme. All right. Okay, so Cap's turn. And let's see what we want to do here. Well, Captain America is going to use Honorary Avenger to ready. And he is going to, do I want to thwart or do I want to attack? Who's up? 5. I can't from, he's 6. So, 6. He'll be the active guy. So, okay, so we're going to go attack for 2 on Pile Driver, bringing him down to 6. We're going to use Strength in Numbers, Shield Toss, and Shield Toss to bring out Mockingbird. She will stun Thunderball. And she will attack for 1 on Pile Driver, bringing him down to 5. That's the damage. Hawkeye will attack for 1, bringing him down to, on Pile Driver, bringing him down to 4. And that will end the turn. So we get ready the cards. We'll put the shield under Captain America. Space, ready the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quinjet, Squirrel Girl, Quinjet, Fearless Determination, and Avengers Assemble. That's actually pretty cool. All right. Okay, so main scheme gets 1 threat. And everybody else gets a threat. So that gets a threat. That gets a threat. That gets a threat. And that gets a threat. Okay. All right. So Thunderball is still the active. He has 7 threat. He has 6. He has 5. He has 6. They're basically 4v1 to take them all down to 0. That is correct. But once 1 is down to 0, he's out. All right. So Thunderball is the active because he still has the most threat on. He has 7 threat. So he's the most active. So he is stunned. So we can't do anything. And we'll now draw an encounter card. And it's I've been waiting for this. When revealed, the active villain heals 3 hit points. And give that villain a tough status card. Okay. All right. So he can't heal. Well, he does heal. He's down to 1. Nope, up to 13. And he gets a tough, which I'll put on his thing. That's not bad, though. That doesn't hurt anything. Okay, let's bring Record a little closer here to the screen so I can see it. All right. Okay, so That wasn't too bad. All right. It is our turn. And Captain America. Let's see. Captain America is going to attack for 2 on Pile Driver. We will get rid of the Quinjet to ready him, and he is going to thwart for 2 on. I can't thwart him, but he's not going to get scanned up yet. Do I want to thwart? Or do I want to attack? I think I'd rather thwart. I'm going to thwart for 2 on Breakout. The right thing to do. We're going to use Fearless Determination and Quinjet to bring out Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl, after Squirrel Girl enters play, deal 1 damage to each enemy. So 13. The tough gets rid of that. Actually gets rid of the tough. Down to 11. Down to 1. And Squirrel Girl will attack for 1 on Pile Driver, which will get him out. So Pile Driver never got a chance. So he is out. So Pile Driver is already out, which now leaves 3. Squirrel Girl gets a damage. And Mockingbird is going to thwart for 1. And I want the thwart to be on. Or do I want to attack? No, I want to thwart. Let's thwart Wrecker. Thwart Wrecker for 1. Hawkeye will not do anything. He will stay put. And Avengers assemble. Ready each Avenger character you control to the end of each phase. Each Avenger character gets play 1 attack and 1 that. I'm going to get rid of that right now because a lot of these Avengers are hurt. The best time to use them is when they're already used. So I'm going to use that. And that's going to be the turn. So Captain America will ready. Pile drive the Pile Driver. Yes, I did. He never got a chance. Steve's Apartment, very good support card. An honorary Avenger, that's good. Genius, shield block, and strength in numbers. Shield block is terrific. Shield block is a better Spider-Man backflip, where there's a better Spider-Man backflip. Well, actually, it's the same thing. They got no damage. Shield block is great. That's why the Captain. I can see ID Jester says Captain America is one of the more decent heroes in the Avengers set. He is. There's a lot you can do with him. All right, so their turn. Threat gets a threat, and he gets a threat. So. All right, so he's got 6, he has 7, and he now has 8. So he's still the active villain. So Thunderball is going to attack, and Squirrel Girl's going to defend. She'll defend. So we'll do 1. And when after Thunderball attacks you, deal 1 damage to each character you control. He was stunned the last time. So does each character you control. So actually, that's going to hurt. That's going to take everybody out. So actually, yeah, that's going to work. So Squirrel Girl will defend, but everybody else is going to go bye-bye, though. So So after Thunderball attacks you, you deal 1 damage to each character. So he'll attack for 1, plus a star, deal 1 damage to the defending character. Well, Squirrel Girl's gone. So he does 1 damage, but you deal 1 damage to each character you control. So Captain America takes a damage, and she's gone, and he's gone. Thunderball is nasty. I'm going to go ahead and put these right here. Actually, now that I got that guy out, I can actually have a little room here. Okay. All right, so we get an encounter card, and it's energy projectiles. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character you control. So Captain America takes another damage. It's now down to 9. All right, so we're already down to 3, but these 3 are in pretty good shape. All right, so Captain America's turn. This is a lousy hand. I've got nothing to work with here. I will put down Honorary Avenger to put down Steve's apartment. And I'm going to do this. We'll keep Shield Block, keep Genius. Strength in numbers is useless. Captain America is going to... I'm going to take a hero action. The villain corresponding to the attached side scheme attacks you, then discard this card. So I will let him attack. There's a reason for that. So Thunderball will attack. Captain America is going to take it. So 1, or we're going to... Oh, actually, no, he'll defend. He'll defend. So he'll defend for 3. So he does 1 plus 2 is 3. But that's 1 extra damage to each character you control. So he actually took 1 point of damage. He's retaliated on. And I'm going to get rid of Genius and ready Captain America. I'm going to thwart for 2 and get this down. And then we're going to flip. Exhaust Steve's apartment, draw a card. Going up to 9. Draw a card, getting a Quinjet. After your turn begins, place 1 time counter on Quinjet. Put an Avenger ally from your hand into play with printed cost equal to or less the number of time counters on Quinjet. I'll keep the shield block and the Quinjet. Actually, I'm not going to use the Quinjet at the moment. We'll discard it. We'll ready. We'll ready the cards. And he gets 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make the call, which is good. Fearless Termination, Heroic Strike, Avengers Tower, and Agent 13. All right. Okay, so threat goes on the scheme. And each one gets a threat. Threat. So let's see. So who has the most threat right now? Most threat, I believe, is Bulldozer. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So Bulldozer, so now the active is Bulldozer. So he becomes the active player now. And he will scheme. So he schemes for 1 plus a boost. Move the active counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Okay, so we only schemed for 1. So he's up to 9. But it says move the active counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. And that is Wrecker and Thunderball. They both do have the least. It says we can make a choice. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to I'll send it back to Wrecker. So now Wrecker becomes the active villain, even though Bulldozer went ahead and schemed. So he becomes the active villain. So Wrecker now, so the encounter card comes from Wrecker. Very interesting how they do it in this game sometimes. So Wrecker, so the encounter card from him is Mystical Link. Ouch. Place 2 threat on each side scheme. All right, well, that stinks. So there are 7. So now that is at 9. That's at 9. And he'll scheme out because he has 9. So it now goes back down to 3. And it's clear the road. And what this scheme does, after threat is placed here, if there is 10 or more threat here, each player must discard the top 10 cards of their deck. Remove all 3 but the 3 from the scheme. So I lost 10 cards out of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That hurts. And there goes a very important card, the Super Soldier Serum. All right. Okay. So it is our turn now. So I still got to deal with Wrecker, Thunderball, and Bulldozer. Pile Driver's already been knocked out. Well, Steve Rogers will heal 1 damage from him. So he goes back to 10, and we draw a card, getting Make the Call. One thing about Steve Rogers, Living Legend, reduce the cost of the first ally played each round by 1 as he's alter ego mode. So when he's in, the thing about Steve Rogers, in alter ego mode, he's pretty good. You reduce the cost of the first ally played each round by 1, okay, as an alter ego mode, because he's a shield soldier in alter ego. He's an Avenger in Captain America. So that means I can play somebody with 2. And we're going to use let's see here. Well, I'm going to use Fearless Determination. Which Captain America gets +1 thwart at the end of the phase. We draw a card. So we'll do that first. Well, that's a hero action, actually. So hold on a minute. I got to bring in the hero first. So we'll play Make the Call. We'll use 2 Make the Calls to bring out Agent 13. After Agent 13 plays, move 2 threat from a scheme. And I'm going to take that off a Wrecker. And she's going to thwart for 2, taking 2 off a Thunderball. And let's see. He'll flip. And he is going to, we're going to play Fearless Determination. Captain America gets +1 thwart until the end of the phase. Draw 1 card. Getting Captain America's helmet. When Captain America be defeated, this sets his hit point dial to 1, then discard this card. So he now has 3 thwart. So we'll thwart for 3 on Wrecker. And we're going to play what am I going to do next? Do I want to ready him or do I want to play a heroic strike? Who's going to be the next? Thunderball is going to be the next active. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Captain America's helmet, Avengers Tower, and Shield Block. And Avengers helmet is a physical resource. And we're going to play Heroic Strike. Deal 6 damage to an enemy if you pay for this card using a physical resource. Stun that enemy. It'll go to Thunderball. So that'll bring him down to 6. And he is stunned. He is stunned. And that's the turn. So ready the cards. And Captain America gets 5. So 1. And the encounter card comes from Wrecker since he's active. So we have an extra. So we have 1 encounter card that's got to be dealt with. Counter card. Okay. That's a good question. The encounter card is going to come from Wrecker, but Thunderball is going to be the active villain. He's not going to be able to attack, but I guess you still get the encounter card from there. So, all right. So we shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting Avengers Assemble, Squirrel Girl, Make the Call, and Fearless Determination again. And we got Shield and Shield Block, which is great. All right. Okay, so threat goes on the main scheme. And each goes on each one. The active scheme is Thunderball, so it goes to him because he has the most on his scheme. So he would attack, but he is stunned. So we go straight to the encounter cards. So the first encounter card will play off a Wrecker. Buddy System. Choose the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Reveal the top card of his deck. Top 2 cards instead if he is the only villain in play. So choose the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. That's Bulldozer. Reveal the top card of his deck. Top 2 cards. He's not the only villain, so that means that Bulldozer reveals a card from him. When revealed, Hero Bulldozer attacks you. Discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt by this attack. Bull Rush. So Bulldozer attacks you. Discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt by this attack. All right, well, he attacks. And Agent 13 will defend, so he does 3. And when Bulldozer attacks, the gains overkill. So Captain America is still going to get hurt. He does 3 plus 1 is 4. She has 2, so it takes 2 to Captain America. So he's down to 8. And she's gone. That was the first encounter card. Now Thunderball was the active villain, so he gets the next encounter card because he was active, even though he didn't attack. He was stunned. Get Wrecked. The villain whose side scheme has the least threat attacks you. Okay. So Bulldozer again attacks me. And this time Captain America will defend. So we'll do 3 plus 2 is 5. So he takes 2 damage. But he takes Retaliate because I have the shield. So that's 10. He takes it there. All right. So that is how that works. So Thunderball's down to 6, Bulldozer 10, Wrecker's down to 13. It is time for Captain America's turn. And we will play Avengers Assemble to ready him. And what I'm going to do here. Thunderball will be the active villain on the next turn if I leave things alone. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to attack for 2 on Thunderball. Bring him down to 4. Bring him down to 4. And then I'm going to play Make the Call and utilize Fearless Determination and Squirrel Girl and the shield block to bring back Agent 13. Make the call. Play the printed cost of an ally in any player's discard pile. Put that ally into play under your control. So Agent 13 is back. After Agent 13 enters play, remove 2 threat from a scheme. We'll get rid of that from that. And she is going to thwart for 2. And she will thwart Wrecker. And then we're going to flip. Am I going to flip? Do I want to flip? No, maybe I don't want to flip. No, I don't want to flip. I think it's going to be the turn. So Agent 13, so ready the cards. Captain America gets 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Super Soldier Serum, that you want. Wonder Man, Shield Toss, Avengers Assemble, and Shield Block. Okay. Super Soldier Serum is an excellent card. You exhaust Super Soldier Serum to generate a resource, and you can have both of these out if you want. That's why Captain America is such. If any, yes, not all. Kirk is 100% right. Not all the heroes in Marvel Champions are the great. That's true. There are some I do like less than others, but okay. I know he destroyed Hulk and She-Hulk, but remember I did win with She-Hulk. I've not played Hulk yet. I may use him against Rhino. in the next match. But Captain America, they did pretty well. All right, so it's the Wrecking Crew's turn. So they get a threat on the main scheme. Each side scheme gets a threat. And let's see. All right, so Thunderball is the active. He is going to attack. And Captain America, Agent 13 is going to defend. So he will do. Actually, you know what? No, she won't defend. No, she won't, as a matter of fact. No, she won't. I don't think she will. Captain America, Captain America's going to take it. He'll defend. So we'll do 2 plus the 1 defense, so it's 3. So it's 1 plus 3 is 4. So he actually does 1 damage on him. Plus, after Thunderball attacks, you'll deal 1 damage to each character you control. So she still takes a threat. She still takes a damage. He's down to 1, but he does retaliate for 3. Okay. All right. So that's what Thunderball does. And he gets an encounter card, and it is Chaos in the Prison. Choose to either discard an upgrade you control or place 1 threat on the active villain's side scheme for each upgrade you control. If you do not control any upgrades, this card gains Surge. Choose to either discard an upgrade you control or place 1 threat on the active villain's side scheme for each upgrade control. Well, his threat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. If I go ahead and put that, that's a Gamma Blast, and that's going to stun each friendly character. So, and the only upgrade I have is Captain America's shield. In this case, I think in this case, I don't want to be stunned. So we're actually going to discard his shield. And that's it. Because if you do, it says choose to either discard an upgrade you control or place. We will discard an upgrade. We'll discard his shield, and that will satisfy the encounter card. All right. His turn. He's a little bit hurt. Needs a little help. We're going to go ahead and play Avengers Assemble and Squirrel Girl to put out the Super Soldier Serum, which is very useful. That generates a resource. And let's see. Agent 13. She's gonna thwart for 2, which is gonna take her out, and bring out Wrecker. Bring him down to 2. That's gonna take her out. We're gonna play Shield Block to do Shield Toss. Discard X cards from your hands. Well, you actually don't have to. It's a 0, but discard X cards from your hands, then return Captain America's shield from play to your hand. Deal 4 damage. Oh, wait a minute. If I don't have, I don't have the shield. Oh, that's right. I don't have the shield. Ooh, okay. My bad. I can't do that. That's right. I don't have the shield. I discarded it. Oh, okay. Gotta think about this. In that case, then I'm gonna bring back Agent 13, and I forgot about that. So instead of thwarting for 2, she's gonna attack for 1 on Thunderball, bring him down to 2. That still takes her out of play. I'll play Shield Toss to ready him, and then he'll attack for 2, and that'll knock Thunderball out. So he's gone. So Thunderball is now out, and now Bulldozer is the active. So Thunderball is gone. So now Thunderball is gone. So all that's left now is Record and Bulldozer. And he'll flip Steve's apartment, draw a card and heal the damage. So he goes back up to 6, draw a card, getting strength in numbers. And we still got to deal with Wrecker. We still got to do a Bulldozer. And Bulldozer's going to be the active guys. So that's the turn. So that's the turn. So ready our cards. And Captain America gets 4. Avengers Tower, Quinjet, Strength in Numbers, and Heroic Strike. All right. Okay. Threat on Breakout. Threat on Day of Reckoning. Threat on Bulldozer. Bulldozer is the active. He will scheme. The reason why I wanted him, because he only schemes at a 1. So he schemes for 1. And it says, when Bulldozer schemes, place the threat on his side schemes of the main scheme. So he schemes for 1, plus 1 is 2. Because I already had 2 cards in hand there, Kirk. I already had 2 cards. I kept 2 cards. So 2 threat go on the scheme. And now he gets an encounter card. And it's Get Wrecked. The villain whose side scheme has the most threat schemes. All right. So Bulldozer schemes again. So he schemes for 1. Plus 2 is 3. Does that scheme amount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Yes, it does. It gets him 11. So even though I tried the plan, the cards didn't work. But then again, Bulldozer's side scheme, in my opinion, is actually the weakest of the bunch. Because all you do is you only lose 10 cards. That can be a lot, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Must discard 10 cards of their deck. And that's what happens with Bulldozer. Okay. All right. So not really that bad. Okay, so I still got to do it. Bulldozer's down to 10, Wrecker's down to 13. Let's see what we got here. Steve Rogers. Unfortunately, I did not have any allies. I did not have any allies in I did not get any allies that turn. But I did get a heroic strike. So well, he'll recover for 3, first of all. 1, 2, 3. Steve's apartment. Draw him back up to 10. And draw a card. Getting Super Soldier Serum. So I have 2 Super Soldier Serums I can use now. Wrecker's going to be the active villain on the next turn. So we're going to flip. I have no ally, so I can't bring an ally in. We'll flip. And we'll utilize the Quinjet to ready Captain America. I'll attack for 2 against. I'll attack for 2 on Wrecker or Bulldozer. What do I do? I'll attack it on Bulldozer. I bring him down to 11. Then we're going to generate a resource and utilize strengthen numbers. So that's 1, 2, 3 physical resource. To play heroic strike, deal 6 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using a physical resource, stun the enemy. He'll do 6 on Wrecker, which will bring him down to 5. And I will stun him. And then I'm going to play, he's stunned. I'm going to play Shield Block and Avengers Tower to put out the other Super Soldier Serum, which I can do. It doesn't say restricted or anything like that. I don't have a shield, but that's okay. And that will end the turn. So ready him. He can take it. And 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fearless Determination, Quinjet, Shield Toss again, Honorary Avenger, and Avengers Assemble. Again, no allies. Only thing about the starter deck for leadership, you think they give me enough allies. All right, that's okay. We work with it. So threat on Breakout. Threat on that scheme. Threat on that scheme. Wrecker has the most threat. So he would be the active villain. He would attack. He is stunned. So we go straight to the encounter card. And it is Crowbar Toss. Wrecker attacks you. Then move the active villain counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. So he attacks me. Wonderful. So Wrecker attacks you. Then move the active villain counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Okay, which is Bulldozer. So he'll become the active villain. Actually, he was the active villain. So Wrecker attacks you. So he attacks for 2. And I have to defend it, otherwise I get more. He has a higher. When Wrecker is attacking, he gets +2 attack if the attack is undefended. So he will defend it. So he does attack of 2 plus this. If the attack is undefended, discard an upgrade. If this attack is undefended, discard an upgrade to control. It is defended, so we do not lose an upgrade. So that 2 does nothing. I do not have the shield, so he does not retaliate. But that attack did nothing. And that's it. All right. On to Captain America. His turn. Let's see. Well, we will go ahead and exhaust 2 serums to get 2 physical resources. Which I really don't even need to do. Really don't even need to do that, really, because I have only one thing that's got us who's Avengers Assemble, but I don't have any allies. We do need to thwart a little bit here, I think. Although record's down to 5. I know I can finish him off. So we're going to use Honorary Avenger. We're going to use Honorary Avenger to ready Captain America. He will attack for 2 on Wrecker, bringing him down to 3. Then I'm going to play Avengers. I'm going to play Avengers Assemble and the Avengers Assemble and the Quinjet, 2 cards, to go with Shield Toss. Discard X cards from your hand, then return. Well, I still can't. I'm sorry, I don't have a shield. Fuck, I can't do that. Dang, I forgot I don't have the shield. Okay. I don't have the shield. Whoops. I can't hit with that. What do I want to do here? What did I do? Attack? You know what? I'm not going to attack. I'm going to reset. I'm going to give Wrecker his 2 points back. Instead, I'm going to play Fearless Determination. Captain America gets +1 thwart until the end of the phase. Draw a card. So instead, it's going to make 3 thwart. He'll thwart for 3 instead, and we'll thwart breakout. Draw a card. Getting Falcon. Now that was the right play. Now I have Falcon. Now I can go ahead and use the 2 super soldier serums. We use the Quinjet. 1 Avengers Assemble to bring out Falcon. That's what we needed. That's what we needed. After Falconer's play, look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery looked at this way, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Well, if I'm correct, Bulldozer was the next one, because that's where the counter card sent it. So we got to use Bulldozer in this case. So look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. For each treachery look at this way, remove 1 threat from a scheme. So we look at 3 cards of Bulldozer's deck. He has 1 minion, 1 attachment, 1 attachment. Nope. So no treacheries. No treacheries, just attachments. Falcon is going to... We're going to thwart for 2 on Wrecker, bringing him down to 4. And that's the right play. That's the right play. I'm going to dump Shield Toss because I don't have it. So, and then Captain America will flip. He will flip. We'll use Steve's apartment to heal him 1. Draw a card, getting Mockingbird, and now the turn is over. And he gets 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get an encounter card from Bulldozer because that's the active villain right now. Losing the shield hurt, but that was the right play, I think, at the time. I had to knock out Thunderball. Thunderball has a nasty side scheme. And I get the Shield Toss back. So I have Heroic Strike. And I have Mockingbird. Heroic Strike could actually do the job. All right. Okay. Well, let's see if we can finish these guys. Let's see if we can finish these guys off. Wow, it's taking me an hour to play this one. Wrecking Crew can take some time. That's why a lot of people say Wrecking Crew isn't that great. I disagree. I think Wrecking Crew is fun. And this is just a standard Wrecking Crew. I think Wrecking Crew can be tough if you don't play them right. All right, so threat goes on that. threat there, threat there. Move the active counter to villain whose scheme has the most threat. That is Bulldozer. And he is in alter ego mode. So Bulldozer instead is going to scheme. So he schemes for 1. Plus 2 is 3. So 3 more go on this. And now we have 2 encounter cards to deal with. First encounter card is Bulldozer's helmet attached to Bulldozer. So now he has a +1 attack. If Bulldozer attacks you, discard 1 card from the top of your deck for each point of damage dealt by this attack. And the second one is Corrupt Prison Guard. Guard. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain. All right. So now I got a corrupt prison guard to deal with. Okay. All right. I wonder if I can. I don't know if I can finish them off, but I know I can take care of Wrecker. So let's see what we got here. Well, Steve Rogers reduced the first ally played by each round by 1. So I can exhaust both super soldier serums, and these are resources, not hero actions. So I can do this anytime. So 2, and we're going to put out Mockingbird. Mockingbird will come out. She will stun Bulldozer. She will stun Bulldozer. And Steve's apartment. He's fully healed, but I can still draw a card. Getting strength. Getting strength. And let's see. He'll flip. And Captain America is going to attack for 2 on Bulldozer, bringing him down to 8. Since I don't have the shield, I'll play Shield Toss. I don't have the shield, but that will ready him. And he'll attack for 2 more to bring Bulldozer down to 6. Then we're going to play Strength and the Power of Leadership to play Heroic Strike. Deal 6 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using a physical resource, stun that enemy. Well, 6 damage is good enough to kick Wrecker's butt, so he goes down to 0. So Wrecker is gone. He's done. No, Wrecker, you do not pass go, and you do not collect $200. You go right back to jail, sir. So Wrecker is now out. So he's toast. That leaves Bulldozer. And Mockingbird will attack for 2. Mockingbird will attack for 1. Falcon will attack for 2, getting rid of the guard. And we will end the turn. One damage, and that's it. And pretty much Bulldozer's toast. So we got 2 cards. I'm going to keep Energy and the Power of Leadership. We draw 3. Make the call. Avengers Assemble and Quinjet. All right. Okay. So Bulldozer's all that's left. So another threat on the scheme. Another threat on the side scheme. He's got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. He goes to attack. He can't. He's stunned. Goes straight to the encounter card, and it's Bull Rush. When revealed, Bulldozer attacks you. Discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt by this attack. Each damage dealt by this attack. And he gets the Bulldozer's helmet. So after Bulldozer attacks you, discard 1 card from the top of your deck for each point of damage dealt by this attack. Youch. So he does 3 3 +1 is 4. He does 4. And really won't matter. Mockingbird will take it. She'll defend. Mockingbird will take it. She'll defend. So he does 3 + 1 is 4. And it's overkill, I believe. Is that right? When bulldozers attack, the attack gains overkill. Yes. So each point of damage doubles its attack. So 4. So she has 2. So it takes 2 damage. So Captain America will take 2 of his own to 9. She's gone. We'll discard. So we did 2 damage to him, not to the hero. So we only lost 2 cards. So we lost Strength in Numbers and Fearless Intimidation. And that's it. So it's pretty much it's over. So it's over. It's over. All right. So how do we want to do it? Let's see. He's got what? 6 points of damage left. So we'll go ahead. We will generate both Soldier Serum. And Falcon and Captain America is going to attack for 2, which will bring him down to 4. Falcon will attack for 2, bring him down to 2. I use 2 Super Soldier Serums and 2 from Energy to play Avengers Assemble. Ready each Avenger character you control until the end of the phase. Each Avenger character in the play gets +1 thwart, +1 attack. I mean, I know all I have to do is ready Captain America, but by playing that allows Falcon to ready again. And I'm going to say Sam. On your left. Make you go ahead and do the coup de grace. So he'll attack for 2 one more time. Brings him down to 0. And the evil Wrecking Crew got wrecked. And that is it. Yeah, you're right, Kirk. Captain America is strong. He is strong. There is so much you can do with him. And pretty much the thing about Captain America, he works well with any aspect. He works well with leadership. He works well with aggression. He works well with justice. He works well with protection. I think Captain America works well with any aspect. I think he works well with any aspect. And that takes care of the Wrecking Crew. I think the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to stay in the core. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the core set, go back to Rhino, because the rise of Red Skull is the next one. But I still have 5 other heroes from the first wave. Okay, Ms. Marvel, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Thor, and Black Widow. And they came out before the rise of Red Skull did. So we're going to go back to Rhino, Claw, and Ultron. However, instead of using the modules that are supposed to be used, I'll make them a little tougher. So as you know, Rhino utilizes Bomb Scare. Claw uses Masters of Evil. I may keep him. I may keep Masters of Evil with Claw. That's strong enough as it is. And then you have an Ultron uses Under Attack. I think what we'll use for Rhino is there's another one. There's Hydra. I think there's Hydra. I think Assault or something like that. Something of Hydra. It's the fourth. It's a module that I haven't even played those modules actually. And then of course there's there's MODOK and the Doomsday Chair. So let me see what they are. So Masters of Evil, Under Attack. Let me see. And yeah, so Legions of Hydra is a module, and the Doomsday Chair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have what I'm going to no Legions of Hydra. Hydra Patrol is in Rise of Red Skull. I'm not going to use Hydra Patrol, but Legions of Hydra is in the core set. So we're going to use Rhino against the Legions of Hydra, and I'm going to have Hulk. I'm going to skip Ms. Marvel is actually the next character. I'm going to skip her. I'm going to go right to Hulk because Rhino versus Hulk is actually thematic. It's actually a thematic matchup. And I know that you hate it, and I know Hulk is very difficult to utilize, but I'm going to use Hulk and his starter deck against Rhino and the Legions of Hydra. Then for Claw, I think I'll go Thor. For Claw. And for Ultron again, for Ultron and the Doomsday Chair, maybe Doctor Strange. Maybe Doctor Strange for Ultron, maybe, and save Ms. Marvel for one of the Green Goblin scenarios. I'll probably choose, I don't know which one I'll use yet, but maybe Mutagen Formula is the stronger one. And then, of course, you have Black Widow. I think Black Widow would work well with Black Widow actually could go in. Maybe I could use Ms. Marvel once again, another matchup against the Wrecking Crew before I move on to the Rise of Red Skull. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I think the next matchup is going to be Hulk versus Rhino, going back to the beginning of the core set. I think that's what we'll do. Anyway, America's greatest soldier, Captain America, does it again. And yes, he is. He works well in any aspect there, Jester. So, try him out. Keep on trying, Jester. Keep on trying all the heroes. I know you hate Hulk. I mean, She-Hulk, I did win with. I did have She-Hulk against the Mutagen Formula. Okay. I think give Hulk another chance, but this time, Thor against Thor also works against a heavy minion villain. Thor would work against Claw. Actually, Thor and Claw is kind of thematic because Claw is actually a main Thor villain, and Thor could work well with the minions against Masters of Evil. I'm going to keep that the way it is. I think Masters of Evil is tougher than the Under Attack. I think you should give Hulk another try, Jester. But really, the thing about I know you went off on Hulk. And yes, and I understand you. I understand that you did. And you know what? You're not wrong at all. Okay, Hulk has so many limitations, but they did beef him up with some of the newer cards. Look on the Marvel deck builder. Look on the Marvel deck builder, and you need to put together a good aspect for Hulk. And a lot of people wonder which is best, since Hulk and aggression would be perfect. But the thing about Hulk and aggression, if you're going to play aggression with Hulk, then the only thing you can do with Hulk is beat him up. Because the one thing Hulk can't do is thwart. That's why I sometimes wonder a Hulk and Justice may be better. Because the Justice can take care of the thwarting, while Hulk just has the ability to beat him up. And I usually do well with Hulk. I usually do. And the thing about it is you got to keep on flipping. If you're playing Hulk, you got to keep on flipping over. You got to flip over to Banner so you can get the cards, and then you got to flip back over to Hulk. Okay, you got to flip. The one thing about using She-Hulk is you got to flip with her. When She-Hulk flips, she does an automatic 2 points of damage against any enemy. That's pretty good. So as soon as she flips over to She-Hulk, she does 2 points of damage against anybody. Okay? Against anyone. So, that's what She-Hulk can do. And you got to build a deck around that. And the starter deck I used with She-Hulk, I think, was Aggression. And she went ahead and took care of Green Goblin and the Mutagen Formula. Okay? Hulk, I still think Justice may be best, and you may want to go above the 40 deck limit for Hulk. You may want to go above 40 and get some extra cards that can help thwart. Hulk, if Hulk on his own will beat the crap out of everybody. Okay, with just his main deck, he should beat everybody up. But you got to deal with the threat. Okay, and of course you got minions. All right, so that's why the aggression aspect, okay, works so well for Hulk if you're going to go against somebody that has a lot of minions. You notice Absorbing Man doesn't have many minions. Okay, that's why when you were playing Hulk with aggression, and I don't think it fit because Absorbing Man doesn't have many minions except for the Hydra Patrol. Okay, he's not a minion heavy. He was not a minion heavy enemy. I thought maybe I would have, the threat is the more important. And that's why I think Justice kind of works. Plus, you want to be able to ready Hulk as well. So you need cards that can ready. What is the one aspect from the basic aspect? What is it? What is it? Endurance or something? Not endurance. Shoot. It starts with an I, You can do Spider-Man versus Taskmaster. Okay. Why Spider-Man? Do Captain America just like I did. Geez, I don't know. It's up to you, brother. But I think that's what Hulk does. If you're going to play Hulk, he can work, but you really got to find the right cards for him. There are certain heroes out there that just don't do well with certain cards. And I just think Hulk, I think because he has to thwart, depending on what you're playing, if you're playing a very quick scheme enemy, then you're going to want Justice. But if you think you can beat an enemy in less than a couple of turns, Limitless Stamina. That's it. Yes, Limitless Stamina. Because Hulk can ready with that. Okay? Limitless Stamina. So, I'm thinking maybe that depending on what the enemy is and depending on what Hulk can do, what he got to do, depends on the aspect. I don't think Hulk leadership works, although I've seen it work, though. I've seen Hulk leadership work. I don't know how, but actually leadership could be good because if you have Hulk leadership, he's got allies to help him out. Okay? Hulk protection, that can keep him going. Hulk aggression, if you're going to beat the crap out of somebody very, very quickly. Okay? And Hulk justice, I think, is against very quick scheming. That's what I'm thinking there, Jester. I think you should give Hulk another chance. But this time, depending on the enemy you want to face, okay, depending on the enemy you want to face, I think is where you should build the deck for. I can tell you this right now, I know this for a fact, not every deck will beat every enemy, okay? Not every deck will beat every enemy. That will not happen. There are certain decks I tried with what is it? I tried Storm with leadership, and I had a hard time against Juggernaut from the X-Men box set. Not every deck will beat an enemy. It depends on the enemy you're playing, and then you want to build. I think the enemy is what you got to build the deck around. Not every deck will win it. You can put together a deck, and if the cards fall your way, then boom, the game is over. Yes, okay. There is randomness in the game because of the constant shuffling. You're right there, Kirk. You're 100% right. Okay, you're 100% right. But I just think that depending on the enemy you're playing is kind of the deck you want to put together to fight that enemy. I think so. There are some people that actually play random Marvel champions. They'll go ahead, they'll take an aspect, and they'll literally just random select like maybe 5 or 6 allies, 10 events, maybe 5 upgrades, 5 supports, 5 supports, and they just randomly put it together and see how it goes. And that's a fun way of playing because you have absolutely no idea what you're going to get. Okay? But I guarantee you a random deck is going to have a hard time against the tougher villains. You've been there you are, Phoenix Knight. Good to see you've been having decent luck so far with Storm and Phoenix, both with aggression in the few plays. Phoenix is fun. All the X-Men are fun. I like I said, yes, there are some heroes that I do like better than others, but they're all fun. All of them are fun. You tell me to play a hero, I'll play that hero and against a certain villain, and I'll put together a deck to work with it. Or I may just use the starter decks. The starter decks usually are good enough to play. So yes, you need to try them, Jester. All right, enough talk. Jester now says he wants to do Spider-Man versus Taskmaster, and that sounds good to me. So you guys go on to move back on his channel. Meanwhile, it is Captain America who defeats the Wrecking Crew. We will have Hulk versus Rhino in my next Marvel Champions. Stay safe. Please leave a like on your way out of the movie theater. Subscribe if you're not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. See you next time, guys.